Hello, hello, my friends. It has been a hot minute, but here I am back with another dedicated candle review. We are still in the month of July, as much as I am feeling over summer, and QVC still has quite a few HOMEWORX Christmas in July candles still in stock. One of those candles, or I should say two of those candles, because these are sold in a set, is vanilla marshmallow cookie. Now, I did purchase this candle from QVC. I should say this candle set from QVC about a month ago now. I want to say, well, was it about a month ago? I want to say that QVC started their Christmas in July specials usually around like the end of June. I know that I purchased this prior to the 4th of July because I did get this in stock prior to going on vacation earlier this month. Anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about this candle because I do know that there is some intrigue surrounding it, and I know quite a few people have wanted some post-burn reviews. I will tell you guys, boy, oh boy, this is one of the new curveballs I am learning as somebody who is traditionally a seasonal burner, but I'm also trying to provide relative content for all of you guys. Having to burn Christmas candles in July has felt quite strange, but I did it, you guys, and I've got some thoughts. So we are talking today, like I said, about vanilla marshmallow cookie. The fragrance notes on this candle are vanilla bean, marshmallow, sugar cookie, caramel swirl, and spices. This is currently listed as of the day that I am filming this. I'm hoping to put this up on the same day, to be honest with you guys. I'm filming this on Monday, July 22nd. This is currently listed for $42.98. on the QVC website with free shipping. And that is in a duo, like I have said many times. All right, you guys, first off, we have this beautiful wraparound label. We all know how much I love and give credit to HOMEWORX for their labels. And these QVC, I would say QVC exclusive labels or packaging here is absolutely stunning. I also love the ambiance that is created when these candles are lit up. This is their standard 4-wick 18-ounce vessel. I believe that this is a soy blend wax, and yeah, it's burning quite well for me so far. All right, so what does my nose detect on this, you guys? This definitely, to my nose, smells like it smells like a vanilla cookie to me. It's not quite as spice heavy as, say, a snickerdoodle, but it's not straight up sugar cookie to me either, because sometimes when I have smelled sugar cookie candles, there's usually that element of icing in there. This to me definitely smells kind of just like your I don't want to say a generic sugar cookie. I believe that I mentioned in one of my videos where I was briefly talking about this candle that the spice note that I'm picking up in there is maybe a very, very slight cinnamon note in there. Now, when I make sugar cookies, I do make them from scratch, and we call them like our sour cream cookie. They're called cutouts, I think. My recipe actually does call for like either a pinch of cinnamon or a pinch of nutmeg in the dough. It's enough that it just adds a little extra something to that sugar cookie, but your taste buds don't necessarily instantly recognize it as cinnamon. And I feel like that's what's going on here with my nose. I like this sugar cookie smell. I don't really smell icing. This is definitely more so heavy on the cookie aspect of it. And as far as marshmallow, I will tell you that there is a little bit of that marshmallow note in here, but it's not the marshmallow note that you get, say, in Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Fireside or even their vanilla bean candle. It's very, very tame. It's just, honestly, you guys, it's just a good sugar cookie type of fragrance that doesn't have the icing. Now, I will tell you, I do have a review coming up for another set at QVC right now that is part of the Christmas in July, and that is the Palo Santo Spruce. Review will be coming on that very, very soon. But I have actually really enjoyed burning both of these candles side by side because they make a really nice pairing. This is going to be one of your very good generic kind of cookie fragrances that you can burn at the holidays. It's a good generic gourmand. I've always said vanilla is an easy fragrance that blends pretty well and amps up a lot of other fragrances. And I will say that the combination of this fragrance with that Palo Santo spruce, while the Palo Santo spruce is not the same fragrance notes, if you happen to like Kringle candles Wishing for Christmas, where you get that sugar cookie note, but also a little bit of a Christmas tree fragrance in there, that burning those two candles combined is kind of gives your house the same effect. Now, I will tell you guys that as I have been burning this candle, I initially kept thinking this one reminds me of something else that I have smelled before, and it took me a couple of burns for the light bulb to go off. I am not going to say that they are the exact same fragrance, because they are not. However, if you happen to like HOMEWORX's birthday cake, I do believe that this is probably like a second cousin to that fragrance family. And so just out of curiosity, I did look up the birthday cake notes. The fragrance notes on birthday cake are listed as vanilla cake, whipped cream, caramelized sugars, and happy wishes. Now, I think what I am smelling that makes me think that there is a commonality there is that on this vanilla marshmallow cookie, the fourth fragrance note listed is caramel swirl, and on birthday cake, the third fragrance note listed is caramelized sugars. So you can even see that, like, even stacking up like where they're saying things like vanilla marshmallow cookie, first fragrance note listed is vanilla bean. On birthday cake, it's vanilla cake. Second fragrance note listed on this candle here is marshmallow. The second note listed on birthday cake is whipped cream. Third one on vanilla marshmallow cookie is sugar cookie. Then it is caramel swirl. Birthday cake, it's caramelized sugars. So there are some commonalities here. And when I looked at the fragrance notes, I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. That little bit of a caramel swirl does come out in this fragrance, especially as you burn it a little bit longer. It's not cloying caramel. I actually really like the way that HOMEWORX does caramel fragrances. It's not usually a scent that's totally in my wheelhouse and that I love, but I do like it in this candle. It does not smell scorched or anything. It just adds a little bit of just a little bit of an extra touch in here. So that is the fragrance description. Why don't we go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle, because I know that the fragrance in and of itself is only half of the story. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. You can see the wicks here. I am getting pretty close to the bottom of burning this one. I would say I've burned about 2/3 of this candle all the way through. You can see a little bit of wick residue in the wax pool, and it is not affecting the fragrance of the candle. There's nothing that smells burnt or anything like that. You can see that the wicks do want to lean just a little bit. Now, I have been trimming the small carbon balls just ever so slightly on these candles, and it's not giving me issues. I have said in the past that generally I don't trim the wicks with my HOMEWORX candles because I have worried about puny wicks. And even then, you guys, if you are somebody who likes to trim your wicks, I would still caution you with HOMEWORX candles not to trim the wicks too short, because then you do run the risk of drowning wicks. But so far, I'm not having that issue. The one thing that I will say about these wicks is that they can be a little bit deceiving, because when you first light them up, they look like they're going to be very, very thin and puny. But as the candle burns and as you get through successive burns, the wicks are actually a lot more, they're thicker than what I would anticipate them to be upon the first burn. Like when you look at the wicks when you first light this candle up, you think, oh goodness, these are really thin, flimsy wicks. But then as the candle burns a little bit more, the wicks seem a little bit more thicker, like thick and sturdier. So I don't know how that happens. I'm sure it's a special kind of wick, but I'm not having any wick issues. The candle pulled out really nicely for me. No issues at all with that. Strength and throw on this candle. Now, I do always list in the description box down below the dimensions of my home as well as the environment that I live in, because I do think that when you are listening to candle reviews or doing your research, you do always want to take into account those factors of the reviewer's home, basically square footage, age of their home, environment, because those things can all really, really impact what is already a very subjective thought process, right? Strength and throw is going to be subjective by nature. I will tell you, this fragrance for me, I'm going to give it about, I'm going to give this one about a 6.5 in terms of strength and throw. It does get a little lost out in my open concept living room where there are some high ceilings. However, when I have placed this candle in my bedroom, which has lower ceilings and is obviously a smaller room compared to the living room, I can definitely smell the candle very, very well. So if you have lower ceilings, if you have more of a closed concept style of room that you are going to be burning this in, you are going to be able to enjoy it quite well. The fragrance in and of itself is definitely a pleasant one. It is noticeable. Like I said, some of these gourmand scents, if they get too strong, they can be cloying, especially when there's a caramel note listed in there. But otherwise, you guys, it's doing pretty well. But I would say that this is one that it's more of a complimentary candle, or if you plan to burn this in an open concept, if you have a large open concept space that you're wanting this fragrance to fill up, it's probably a good idea that this candle then is offered in a set of 2, and you might want to plan to burn both of them at the same time to just get a little bit more oomph. We all know that this is a typical problem with a lot of vanilla fragranced candles, vanilla by nature, unless it's super, super synthetic. I do know that some people say like, my Bath & Body Works or my Goose Creek vanillas like really, really do well. Well, to be honest with you guys, Bath & Body Works and Goose Creek, in my humble opinion, a lot of their fragrances are very, very synthetic. So I think that's sometimes the trade-off, right? If you have a more synthetic fragrance, it's oftentimes the nose is actually going to recognize it a little bit easier, I guess, as opposed to something that is not. That is just my personal opinion. But overall, you guys, I would say, especially if you have one of those 20% off coupons, or if you happen to see this set go on clearance over at QVC, it's definitely worth picking up, especially I would say if you happen to like the birthday cake fragrance from HOMEWORX. This is not a dupe. This is more of like a holiday twist on it, but it is in that fragrance family. I do think that you would find it enjoyable, and as long as you have the expectations that this is not going to be a 10 out of 10 fill your entire house type of fragrance. So that is my humble opinion on this candle. I will actually be hanging on to the second candle that came in this set because I do see myself wanting to be able to burn that around the holidays. I do like a good gourmand sugar cookie type of fragrance. And honestly, you guys, in a lot of ways, I think that this fragrance, if you are a gourmand lover, you could burn this year round. It doesn't necessarily scream holiday to me, but it's definitely one that you can blend with a lot of other good gourmand fragrances, maybe a coffee scent, or it can really be blended with a lot of other fragrances, and I think that you would really enjoy it. So I haven't done these dedicated reviews in quite some time, you guys. You're getting my first one back at it behind the camera here. So let me know by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, feel free to comment down below if you have purchased this candle, what your experience has been. As long as you remain respectful of myself and others, you're always welcome to give your feedback down there. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.